Evangelion soundtrack, that's all you got to know. So, I would love to show you these headphones and compare them directly against the Sendiivas. Unfortunately, those are still in a truck. Well, they're out of the truck, but they're in Tennessee because I couldn't take them back from RMAF. And this is finally me going back to work. And so these, like the Takstar HF580s, are another big motherfucking air quotes clone of the Sendiivas, in that they use the same driver. The difference between this and the Takstars, though, the Takstars were $200 and they did a piss poor job implementing the driver. They didn't fit quite right and they didn't sound quite right, and they were cheaper, like a lot cheaper, like a third of the price. But it was like So, if you're interested in Sendiivas, these are $150 cheaper than those. So, not $400 cheaper, $150 cheaper. And they use the drivers correctly. I mean, it's basically the same patterning on the back. I wish I had them here. They're the BLON B20s. And here's the packaging. Princess Pasta unboxed this a couple days ago. It hasn't been here very long. And that's it. It doesn't even say the model on this. I don't know if there was another sleeve that she tossed. I don't know. This is what I got. I had to look up the price. I had to look at the model, because it was sent to me by, I think Linsol sent it to me, or another company sent it to me. I'll check. And I got it. I unboxed it. And, well, she unboxed it and I handed it to me. I'm like, oh, okay, it's another Sendi clone. And I better burn it in, because I do believe that, you know, you run a headphone for a couple dozen hours and there could be a slight change in sound, and I want to make sure I have a used headphone when I review it. So I put them on whatever, 789, and I just let it run. But I put it on, and that was the fucking biggest mistake of my life. I put them on as soon as I did, just to check the volume levels, and I'm like, all right, hold on. What did you just do? And then I took them off, and then I ignored them for 20 hours, and I put them back on again last night, doing emails, and I'm like, and then I took them off, and then today, I had some coffee. It's gone. I had some coffee, and I said, all right, it's time. It's usually way too early. Usually I like to spend a week plus getting all the little finite fuckery of every headphone. But I ran out of reviews because of RMAF. Thanks, RMAF. And thank you to everyone who funded it to make it happen, by the way. Just a little shout out to you guys. But I'm out of reviews. That means I got to pile through 4 or 5 reviews today and then get them on Patreon, and then 4 or 5 more reviews tomorrow, and then start slowly dripping them out to the public. I only needed that first minute with these headphones to know. They maybe improved a burn-in. I don't fucking know. Because they sound glorious. Because unlike the Takstars, which failed entirely to capture the magic that was the Sendiivas, these have not only captured it, but changed it in a way that has made it, I think, more pleasurable. More overall pleasurable, wider soundstage. Look at the pads. Hey, look, aren't these cloth pads that look a lot like the same wood and the same thing? Yeah, they are. Oh, by the way, these fold flat in both directions. Why can't headphones do that? I'm serious. I'm fucking serious. I look at that wall and I can look at all these headphones, and I know for a fact none of them fold flat in both directions. By the way, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know how this review is going to go. Heavy. They have the same weight as the Sendiivas. They're just like, they're a big, girthy planar. And underneath here, which I haven't peeled this off, you can see said planar. Looks very similar. We've got a very thin piece of fabric. There's no protection from the actual driver. I'm going to put that back on now. I think, now here's the thing, I don't know all the facts, because I've got to sort of get these reviews done. But I think that they sell these pads, these particular pads, these specific perforated pads with the thing, for Sendiivas now. And I would love to put these pads on my pair, but again, they're not here. So I'm just going to say, if you're already on Sendiivas, should you get this pair of headphones? Excuse me, coffee. No, wait, stop. Give me a fucking couple days. Let me see if you can order these pads, because if the pads are what's doing what I think it's doing, you might be able to take your Sendiivas and convert them into extreme, not extreme soundstage, but like a soundstagey natural set instead of that aggressive close planar like they are. It's just, that's what I'm listening to here. Everything I put on, and I sat here and I was just, here's my remote control, and I was just like, haha. Ooh. I mean, they're not cheap. For what you get with the Sendiiva, it made sense. The craftsmanship of every little bit of it, the metal on the side was perfect. The way this lined up was perfect. The little indicators of the Sendi logo in every piece of hardware. The wire it came with. This, by the way, is not the wire it comes with. This is the wire it comes with. A very, very straight and nice, just simple headphone cable. Most headphones can't pull this shit off. Why? I don't know. It's a 3.5 with a screw-on adapter. It's got a little strain relief. I have it in this particular 789. It's about 7 feet long. It has a little split. It goes to extremely, it's actually tying itself in knots because it's so loosey-goosey and nice. It goes to little metal connectors that are 2.5 millimeter. They're a little bit tiny, so if you go to replace the wire for whatever reason, because maybe you want to run it balanced like I'm currently doing, you need to make sure you have 2.5 millimeters that have that extension, so you can get into that hole and get up in there and pippity pip pop. The actual build of them, way better than the Tac Stars. The Tac Stars are like, oh, I mean, I was making a lot of excuses for the Tac Stars. Well, they're $400 cheaper, so they spent all the money on the drivers and they sort of wrapped it in shit. These are $450. These are not a cheap set of headphones by anyone's standard. Well, I mean, there's a couple of people out there who'd be like, $450, I shoot that out. But they're built in this weird gray area between like Sivga and Sendi, where Sendi is like leather on everything, and everything is perfect. And then Tacstar and Sivga are like, yeah, it's a headphone, and it's all right. And this is a little bit better than all right. Like, this is just perfectly fine. I won't change anything about it. The metal, the little mesh behind the metal, the wood grain is fine. The pads are probably my favorite thing about them. And then the mechanism here, like, this mechanism that I'm twisting, on a Sivga for $100, it wouldn't feel this nice. It looks similar. It's got the same similar structure. By the way, I added the red and the blue indicator using these magical tools, which I will link in the description. I do this on everything because here's the thing: when you put these down, the indicators are very small gray letters on the side, and I was just annoyed by that. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, red, blue. I might do the other side too, so I could just know if they're upside down, if they're backwards. But now I know. If I don't see it, this is the side that goes on. Boom. Like the head strap here, not leather. Certainly not leather. It's a protein leather. It's soft. The little nubules on the comfort strap. It is a spring-loaded comfort strap. That's how the height adjusts. It seems fine. It all seems fine. The Sendis slide up and down, and mine are sort of loose. But they had that beautiful piece of leather. This is acceptable. Very, very acceptable. Acceptable build. This is nice and simple. What do you got? I got 2 straps on top. They're spring-loaded. Clamp is not crazy. It's not linear. I wish the clamp was a little more linear because it's like no clamp, starting a clamp, gonna snap out of my hands, and then it snaps out of your hands. So that's just... Some headphones, you just take them and you go like this. Oh, wow. I don't know how they do that. Give me a sec. Hold, please. Dead mouse. A moment to myself. This is actually what I need for a second. The soundstage on these is better than most planars I've listened to. And I'm including ones like the Edition XX and the Arias. Those have much layering. I'm just going to say layering. There's much layering and it's very, very focused sound, and these just sound like a normal wide headphone, but added detail of planar. they do a remarkable job of sounding a bit out there and still bringing all the detail in. Like, remarkable job. Now, my newest addition to my wall, the Sundaras, $350, $100 cheaper than these. These aren't replacing the Sundaras on the wall because they're a different sound. Where those are very light and airy and natural sounding, these sound a little bit more on purpose. They are more impressive to listen to. Sort of like what I said with the LCD4, where they get up in your fucking face to let you know that they're worth $4,000. But unlike the Sendiivas, which did that same thing, they got up in your face and were like, look at all this detail. These know how to relax. They know how to chill and sit back. They don't drink coffee every morning. Sendiivas drink coffee every morning. LCDXs do speedballs every morning. These, they're right on the fence. You know, maybe they have a Monster Energy drink today and a mimosa tomorrow. These can actually do a calm, relaxed setting. I'm listening to, deadmau5 here, and it's got some very, very sharp things happening. And they're happening, but in the background it's just wide. Everything's just sort of undulating far away and towards me. My God, I should drink coffee before every review. They're a wonderful place to be. I sometimes tire of the Sendiiva's closeness and the aggressiveness. And the lacking bass of the Sundaras don't make them perfect for everything. Plus, they're very light and delicate, like I said. So when you really want to pound it home, neither one of those works very well, because Sendis will just kill you, and then those are just a little bit too airy and light. I love them. I love them. They're on my fucking wall. Don't question them. But for the same reason I wouldn't use Audio-Technica 2000Xs for pounding into my... What was I pounding? I was pounding something. I wouldn't pick either of those. I'd pick these. These are a great balance between the two. Now, if you're going to ask me to compare them against like Edition XXs and the giant Hi-Fi Min Planars, these have less bass than that. Those are real like bass. And they sound big, but these sound as wide, but can control the detail just a little bit more. These are almost perfect planars. You know what they remind me of? Hold on, stop. My synapses are firing now. They remind me of the old HE500s. The old Hi-Fi Mins, the Tiger Blood crazy ones, where if you put the pads on them, they got wide, and they could still do detail, and they were aggressive, and they were heavy, and you felt like you knew what you were doing with them, and then they'd surprise you every time you wore them. I think that these are probably the closest to that, because I've been burning them in for 2 days, and every few hours I come in here to check them. Not because I actually cared if they were burning in properly, just because some song was playing and I could hear it, and I'm like, oh, that Days of the New song. Oh, the guitar is just... These are an easy recommendation. They're $450. If they were $300, they would sort of fit in that magic bubble, or even just $400, not $450. They'd be in that perfect space between the HF580, the Sendiivas, and these right in the middle. Pay the extra $50 so that they're actually nice, I guess. Although I would still color them in with a magic marker. And these are fucking easy mode. I wish I would have had these before RMAF, because I would have probably put these on the table and not the IVAs. Because I think the IVAs impressed a lot of people. If you were at RMAF, please leave a comment below. Did you try the ones that look... Hey, what do the Sendiivas look like? Here, I have a picture up here. No, those are the Blons. Literally no reviews. Free shipping, $450. Here are the Sendiivas. If you tried these ones, try these ones. If you loved those, but you were like, they're just a little bit close and aggressive. I wish they were just a little bit further back. And I wish they were $150 less. Boom. I opened a bunch of tabs here, by the way. Here are the $199 HF580s, not on Amazon, only on AliExpress. It's very strange, because Taxter always seems to show up on Amazon eventually, and they just haven't. That's just a search list. The other I'm going to quickly go over a couple other recent planars I've talked about. Fly Audio Phantoms. Those are $400. Those are $50 less than this. I think as a complete package, build, comfort, soundstage, the way things are working, I'd probably pull the... Stop! Don't freak out, because like, oh, Zeos, I just bought the Fly Audio Phantoms. Ah. Those need a little bit of work. You need to take the pads, or the caps off the back so that a magnet's not affected. So they're like a great headphone for modding. I wouldn't touch these with a fucking Q-tip to mod them, except for magic marker. I'd touch them with that. But those big round, those were like the consummate planar. Like those are here to beat M1060, M1060C. There's M1070s, I haven't gotten those yet. God almighty, I hope that... I kind of don't hope that they're great, just so I don't feel like I'm recommending everything, because it's great news for everybody watching this. Hey, guess what, everybody? All these headphones are great. Zeus, you just like everything. Maybe everything is just, you know, people who make that can buy this, and people who make, actually, they're both Linsol. Everyone can buy everyone else's headphones. If you're making something in this world and you don't buy your competition to try it and say, wow, this is so much better than ours, keep working. All right, now ours is at least competent. Everything should be good now. The internet exists. The ESS 422s, I'll link all these in the description. These are all planar. Actually, that's a AMT. It's not really a planar. That's an AMT and dynamic hybrid. That if you change the pads on it, it's great. Close back, and then finally there's the Sandara's 350. They're on my wall. I have to say nothing more than that. I'm sure I've missed some. The Edition XX. What other roughly cheap planars are out there? The 560s. I'm pretty sure we could retire those from the wall. Like if I kept these on my wall, I'm not selling these. They've done too much to impress me right here and now, although I probably need something for the yard sale in a few months. Maybe it'll be my 560s. Because those are planar. Those are a bit warm, bit wide. I had to mod them. They have a comfort issue with the head strap and everything, and these are just fucking better than those. Although we're not competing directly. I'm gonna stop recording this now. Let you download that wallpaper in the description. Have some more coffee. And then I'm gonna review something else on my desk. I'm very, very happy to have reviewed these. It's an honor. It's an honor to finally have like a clone of something that actually competes for less and is a different sound signature. If it was just a copy, I would be a little bit more like, but it's not as nice as the Sendiivas, and I love the Sendiivas. I still love the Sendiivas. They're not going nowhere. If I had to pull out a pair of headphones to show someone what good build quality is, I'd hand them those over these. But these are a great, in fact, fucking stellar example of how you can do something cheaper and still not bad. Like the little strap is fine. Is this metal? I think this is metal. Like this doesn't have to be metal, but it is. This is all metal. They're obviously missing some sort of logo there, but that's fine. The wood cups look great. Much simpler patterning here than the it's a good headphone. It's a fucking good headphone, and I have to sound demo it. And I think the pads might actually be big enough to let me sound demo it without spacers. I just hope I can get exactly what these are doing. And I did some amping. I should probably talk about that for a second. They're on medium gain on the 789, balanced. And on the regular one, medium gain and 12 o'clock, balanced. So they take a little bit of power. This is it. This is this review. I hope you're happy. Yes, it's another headphone Zeos loves. Yes, it's another planar Zeos loves. Yes, it's an under $500 headphone that I think everyone should own. But if you already have Ivas, if you already have Sandara, you don't need every headphone. God damn it. Little bit of heart to heart with you people right now. You people, you know who you are. You don't need every headphone I like. I have to assume every time someone watches it, I make one of these videos, 10% of the people watching have never been to Z reviews before. And maybe they're going to buy one headphone. And why not make it this one? I don't want to leave everyone in a conundrum where it's like, well, I only have one headphone that I actually recommend, and that's it. If it's not on my wall, I don't buy it. Everybody's a goddamn snowflake, and that's the best possible way I'm saying that. There are people who like certain types of sounds a certain way and have certain amps and certain budgets, and I try to find the headphone for everybody. So every video should feel like this is the most important headphone. That's what makes these exciting. Tomorrow, or actually in about 40 minutes, I'll do something about those. The Manias, and I'll be like, wow, these. Wow, these. But I'm not going to compare them directly to this because different price brackets, and maybe you're not interested in those Slovenian headphones. I don't know. What it all comes down to is, do I have a nice wallpaper for every video? And the answer is yes. Download that in the description. If you want to see all my wallpapers, $2 tiers on my Patreon. You get on my Patreon for $2 or higher. You can search wallpaper as a tag. You'll find the link to my wallpapers. If you're in the $5 tier, you'll also get into the yard sales and get to see these videos early. Usually I have like a 1 or 2 week backup. Currently have a 0-day backup. Well, maybe like a 1-day backup. But RMAF did that, and don't blame me. I'm going to fix that. You'll have all my videos ahead of time. So when I talk about the Blons, my patrons will have 3 days to buy the entire stock. And there's 1,100 of them. So there's a good chance there's going to be a big chunk of that stock going only to them. But then it's going to come out public a couple days later. Hopefully sound demo's ready and in the description. The $10 patrons get into a private Telegram chat that's refreshed every 3 months. We had over 200 members in it. Now there's only 105 because I kicked everyone out, and only people who are current patrons can come back in. If you want to be part of that community, which is literally its own little community, I just told you how to get there. I think I'm done for now. I have to go and take my blood pressure. Coffee's really interesting. Bye.